Real quick, before we start this podcast episode, I just want to say thank you for tuning into the Marc Olser podcast. I know you've got a million things that you could be doing right now, and the fact that you're taking time out of your day to watch this podcast episode truly means the world to me, and I just want to say thank you for that. If you'd like to continue to support the podcast, right below this video, if you could hit the subscribe button, and then, hey, if you got some more time and you want to hit the download button, the comment button, the like button, the share button, any of those buttons, it's greatly, greatly appreciated. It helps for other people to find out about the podcast, and it helps for you to be notified about future episodes. So if you guys could take a quick second, hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate that. Outside of that, this episode and every other episode is brought to you guys by Roast Umber Coffee. As some of you guys know, I co-founded Roast Umber Coffee, and we have the greatest farmers in Guatemala and Honduras and the greatest roaster in Grand Rapids, Michigan, all to bring you guys the greatest cup of coffee possible. So if you'd like to try it out, go to our website, use the coupon code MARC30, and you're going to get 30% off your coffee. Now on to the episode. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Welcome to the Marc Olser Podcast. Eddie, are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready. Do you do like an intro? Is there like a music or like a Vanna White or anything? Or this is it?
See, that plays and then it cuts to us.
So we're here.
And we're just sitting on
live.
the couch. We're just talking.
So you have an intro. I'm not in the intro.
No. Well, technically you are. I take cuts from the video and then I put those back to back to back. So future us will be before
So we're
us
live.
talking right now. We're live.
We're fucking live.
So
am I allowed to curse?
You can say whatever. You can say whatever. So Eddie, welcome to the Marc Olser Podcast. How's your day going? So first off.
It's magical. It's been raining in Los Angeles for the last basically 2 weeks, as you know. So just to even get out is nice. You know what I mean?
Isn't it crazy how when it rains in LA, we act like it's like like the world's ending, everything's going wrong, and like then in like the Midwest, it's like, oh, it's been raining for like 7 years nonstop, just doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's really weird because people they stop knowing how to drive like quite quickly.
Yeah.
Because you know cars are made to work in the rain. So like your brakes and your tires.
People in LA don't know that.
Yeah, your accelerator, all of those little things, the key that turns the car on, the lock button, it all works in the rain. Believe it or not, even if it's pouring.
Dude, that was one of the first things when I moved to LA. I remember I had a meeting with the guys. My first year living in LA, and I had a meeting with this guy, and it starts raining, and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, so when do you want to reschedule for?" And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, it's raining out. I was like, well, we're meeting at a coffee shop. Like, what is rain?
Oh, I'm not driving in the rain.
Yeah, it was
scary.
And I'm dead serious. He wanted to reschedule just because it was raining. But all right, Eddie. So to jump into the podcast, for people who don't know who you are, can you give a brief intro to yourself?
Yeah, I certainly can. How brief of an intro?
Give me the 30-second elevator pitch. Who is Eddie?
Who is Eddie? Man, okay. I'm Eddie. I'm from Philadelphia. You know, born and raised. And I currently live in Los Angeles, and I'm an expert in digital marketing and, digital marketing, content. There's been quite a different things that I'm sure we'll talk about that I've become what you call an expert in over life. 10,000 hours plus, right? So, I'm a happy cat. I'm jolly, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how to do a short one. You know what I mean?
Jolly is a great way to explain your personality.
Jolly is definitely the word.
You're a happy motherfucker. So, and you go by a few different names. So we have Fast Edward. We got Media Giraffes.
Oh my God!
What is Media Giraffes?
Let's break all this down for everybody too, because it's like when I came into Web3, I didn't know that my Twitter display name would become my identity, right? Because I didn't know how long I was staying. I didn't know what.
What do most people call you?
People call me Eddie. Okay, everybody calls me Eddie, right? But now that my Twitter display name is Fast Edward, they call me Fast a lot, you know? Some people call me Edward. They get a little weirded out. They kind of go, Edward, you know? But for the most part, my friends call me Eddie. And then in the space, a lot of people call me Fast because saying Fast Edward is a bit much.
I feel you.
And then you asked me what is Media Giraffes. Yeah. So that's a company that I started when I was 19 years old. I was at Drexel University in Philadelphia, and I was studying photography. And this is like right when like the 5D happens. Do you remember that like magical moment? Yeah. You speak camera, right? So for everyone that's listening in here, the 5D changed everything from both photography and video. So right when that camera came out, I was over there at Drexel University studying photography, and I was working with a bunch of like local musicians, and just I was the dude to like make you a quick little like 1-minute video to either promote yourself or your business. Bro, I did some weird videos, right? Like even like this one guy had like a tile and grout company locally in like my little suburb Philly town. Like I would do whatever because I was good at making these montages. So I needed to call myself something when these people started to like ask me for invoices. It became more than like send me like, because there was no Venmo or anything. It was like an envelope of cash or a check. And at some point, you know, when you're in like a metropolitan city and you're growing up and you're not just a little photographer anymore, you need to have something to invoice. So I made this company, and it was my first company. It was LLC in Pennsylvania. And I was trying to think of the name of it. And like, I just always loved giraffes, which is really wild. So I was like, giraffes, like elephants, giraffe media. I'm like, that sounded cool. Like, cause you know, we're doing media now. It's not just photography or just video. Like when that 5D happened, the content started cranking. So it was a Giraffe Media, and then I went and looked online on like the where you register a company, and it was taken. It was like some random company in Baltimore. I was so upset. I was devastated. I went for this like 2-hour walk. I remember it was like, imagine like sad music coming on and me walking down the street in Philadelphia heading to get a cheesesteak, and I'm like, wait, what about Media Giraffes? I'm like, that works. I'm like, yeah, our heads above the rest. We're like I came up with this slogan. You know, we were like ahead of everyone, or smarter, or sharper, or faster. You know what I mean? So we said heads above the rest, Media Giraffes. And I just had this like little business card. I incorporated myself and just bought a 5D and an iMac and started making videos. So that's Media Giraffes. So at that time, that was 2010 that I incorporated that company. I grabbed Twitter. Instagram wasn't out yet. I think I had like Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace or something like that. So that's Media Giraffes. It was my first company. My first way to start making money outside is just as a contractor. It was my first business. So that's where the handle comes from.
So that was like 2010-ish, right?
Yes.
So when exactly did you move out to LA then?
I moved out to LA in 2014.
Okay. So you were out here, I think 2 years right before I came out here. But I remember, rewind from now like 5 years. And I remember when I got out to LA and I was working with a bunch of models doing photography and things like that for them. And I would, every once in a while, I'd be on somebody's Instagram story and I would see Media Giraffes. And I was like, I don't know who this dude is. I don't know what he does, but I see him in all these different places, all these different people that know him and stuff like that. And I don't know how you and I just never met at that time. Because like LA, for a lot of people, when you look, like people who are not from LA will hear this and be like, what are you talking about? But LA is a small world when you're like in the industry, right?
Yeah, there's like 5,000 people that all know each other in one way or shape or form.
Yeah, and so I would always see Media Giraffes, and I had no idea who you were, what you did, or anything like that. And I was always really hesitant to network with a lot of guys in LA because there's so many like creepy dudes.
Yeah, straight up. As a photographer too, like I totally get that statement worded that way.
So I was always just kind of like, I don't really, like, I could reach out to him, but I don't really have a reason to. Fuck it, I won't. And then fast forward to, 2021 or whatever, I get into NFTs, and all of a sudden I start seeing the name Fast Edward, Media Giraffes. I'm like, holy shit, that's the same dude. So explain to me, I guess, like what ended up bringing you out to LA and kind of what has your journey been like? Yeah,
I'm definitely going to take it back a little just because it all kind of makes sense in the end, right? So, and definitely like feel free to, Mark, jump in and cut me off, but it's definitely should be told linearly instead of even starting at college, right? Just so everyone can understand where this like Web3 mystery Fast Edward person came from, right? So, I started making content with my first little camera, right? Grandma gave me a camera when I was like 8. I loved it. You know, the little one where the Polaroid pops out of the front.
Oh yeah.
And they weren't cute, big plastic pink bubbles like from Urban Outfitters. This thing was like a machine looking thing, and it was heavy, right? And it was so cool. I loved it, but like we didn't have a ton of money where I grew up, so like I couldn't like buy a ton of film. Plus, I was like in 4th grade or 3rd grade or whatever the heck it was. So like I basically got to take like a couple pictures a month, so I would walk around with this camera, holding up to my eye, just like waiting for that precious moment, because I'd only get to strike it a couple times a month. So like that's important because that's where my eye came from, right? And then I just kept getting new cameras as I grew up, and people wanted toys, I wanted cameras. When we all started skateboarding during that phase of our lives, and like I guess like 9th grade, everyone wanted to like go be pro skaters. I wanted to film them because I didn't want to break my legs like those guys. I saw these kids getting hurt, and I was like, dude, not for me. But these people were nice to me, so I wanted to be around them. So like at this point, I kind of got a video camera, and I got it from it was my neighbor's dad's, and you put a full VHS tape in that thing. So I'd run around and film the skaters, right, using that eye that is now like 4 years trained already, And we made some really cool videos, and this is before computers were out. So I would actually like take the tape, right? Like let's say you're doing a kickflip. You're not going to land it every try if you're trying to make a video. So we would try the trick, rewind, tape over it, busting these ribbons up, literally take over. So he'd land the trick, and then same thing again, tape over it, go back to and then what you would have is 15 tricks landed in a row after about a month. And then we would put 2 VCRs on top of each other, and we'd turn the music up, and I would record the TV screen, and we would put music to those clips, and then we had ourselves a skate video. Right. So like I really learned how to edit manually without any help from anyone. I had no way to know how to do this. I worked with the tools I had using like RCA cables and shit. So I was making these short montages. It would take me months. Right. But I was making these things. And then by the time the internet started to happen, I wanted to share my videos. And this is before chat rooms. So I would go in these forums and talk to these other skateboard filmers. They were in like California where we are now. And I wanted to show them my stuff so I could get better at filming. So learned how to upload it, got myself one of these funky converters, plugged it into my dad's laptop, and before you know it, this is 5 years before YouTube, I'm uploading content to the internet. 5 years before YouTube, fully manual, paying for my own hosting, borrowing my dad's credit card to pay for the hosting. It was like $5-10, whatever it was, to host like a megabyte. And we did it. I was able to share my videos with these kids in California, and they gave me tips on how to film better. They'd be like, bro, hold the camera lower, get a wider lens for the skateboarding. They're like, if you're doing shots that aren't on the wide lens, don't turn the camera, move your body. So like roll on the skateboard. And they taught me how to do dolly shots and all this stuff. So my videos now, like as that time progressed and I hung out on the internet, like they started to get good. And now I'm like, you know, finishing up high school and down at the skate park all the time. I'm like this decent skate filmer. It's kind of nerdy, whatever. And I met Bam Margera, which was like a huge thing for me. The guy from Jackass.
Oh, yeah.
He was the local celebrity in Philadelphia. Like it was like M. Night Shyamalan and fucking Bam Margera. And then like you got the Eagles and shit. You know what I mean? So like he was huge. This is MTV like every day. Viva La Bam, bang, 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 Jackass everywhere. Like every superhero. Like you don't get to meet that guy. He's on TV. But I know where he skates, and I skate there too. And I've seen him skate there forever. I just never really, you know, said much besides a head nod, or, you know, I skated pretty good at the park under the bridge in Philly. And one day, his filmer didn't show up for whatever reason. My ass at this point has like a really cool skate camera, you know, it's like a VX1000 big lens. And he asked me to film a clip. And he was like, well, can you ride with me? I'm like, yeah, bro. I fucking dropped in on the 6-foot bowl with my camera, followed him around the skate park, and got this epic clip that, you know, it's been published everywhere and whatever. So I became close with Bam. And that's when shit started to get real. I got close with Bam, met him, skated with him, filmed with him through that Drexel experience that I started to tell you about earlier, right? Like I was over there studying photography. And, oh man, so as that happened, Bam's in my life. I'm starting to film other people too. Then I just left Drexel. I was like, this school was awesome too. It was like a dream school, bro. It's like a very, very prestigious college. I had Media Giraffes. I had Bam Margera on my side. I'm like, I'm fucking out. Bam asked me to go to Madrid, and he asked me to go around with him. And I'm like, I never left Philadelphia, dog. Like I've been to New Jersey, down the shore. You know what I'm saying? I've been down the shore, grab a slice of pizza, play on the boardwalk. But come on, bro. Like I have never. California was a dream. All of it was like, I see it, and I know these guys exist, but like, I don't know. So I left, and I fucking went for it. And I went to Madrid with Bam. I went to Helsinki, Finland. I went to Iceland. I went to Hong Kong. I went to all of Australia, like literally all of Australia, like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, like the whole fucking thing. And it was epic. I'm with my hero. Like, I mean, these guys are nuts, right? Like I had a few demands too. Like if I'm going to travel with you guys, I get my own hotel room. I don't give a shit, and I'm locking that fucking door. Because you're not going to get any videos if you guys are putting shit in my ear or stepping on me or throwing kitty litter on my face. Yeah, so we'll talk about the kitty litter some other time. But
so I can't. Okay, just a mental note: can't throw kitty litter at you during this podcast. Okay, got it.
But the point is, I was a young guy. I was probably like 18, 19, maybe probably 19 years old, and maybe I got 19, 20 years old, and I got to travel the world with one of my superheroes, and like that important moment in your life when you realize that like the world is bigger than your coffee table. You know what I mean? Like the shit that we worry about here in America, or the shit that we worried about as whatever class citizen you are, or like it is just nothing compared to like these people. The shit that we worry about doesn't even exist in the minds of others. And to see how big the world is and meet nice people and just see different cultures. Like I was going down the street in Madrid, and I remember I was with Bam Margera's brother, Jess, and I remember walking in, and we got one beer, and we got like a little, it was like a chicken croquette, a chicken stick thing. And it was like $2. I'm like, whoa, I just got kind of full and a little buzz for $2. You walk down the street with your beer, you meet people, you talk, people are making eye contact, like all these little cultural differences exploded in my brain. I was like, whoa, I'm like, the world is bigger than Springfield, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, outside of Philly. And like, and the problems that we have there and the drama that we have there in this like lower middle class area is like so inexistent. I'm like, there's big streets made of marble and there's cathedrals made by the Masons and there's all this cool shit all around the world. And I like saw it and I'm like, I'm in love, right? I'm just in love with the adventure, right? So, like, I got to adventure with Bam Margera around the world, dude. And, like, I'm just a little hustler. Like, I made the whole thing so sick. Like, on, like, my flight back from Sydney, like, I'm flying economy, but on my flight back from Sydney, I was like, I can get a business class seat if I take a 12-hour layover in Fiji. So, like, I'd stop in Fiji, right? I'd put my bags at the airport check in this little shack airport and jump in a taxi cab, could have easily gotten murdered by myself, right? I go to Fiji for 12 hours, and I explore, and I, like, what? I walked right past, bro. I remember the hotel. It was in Nadi, Fiji, and it was the Intercontinental, which is a big name. Like they're nice hotels. That's like I think they're nice. At least they were to me. I blew right past the fucking front desk because I'm with Bam. These guys are hustlers. I just pretended I owned the fucking place. I was texting. They're like, "Hello, sir," and I was like, I just waved at them and kept walking. Sat by the pool, ordered a margarita, and sat in Fiji for the whole day. Right? It was so cool. So anyway, those travels around the world with Bam and making that content early really propped me up for YouTube. Right? Because before that it was all manual. So like when YouTube actually came out, my videos were just smashing. Like there was this one guy after I came back from these tours with Bam, and now I'm like doing like that's enough to get some attention. Some of the highlighted videos that I had made and like again mixed with some of the musician videos and the other stuff. Like I had a nice little reel, so I put together a little website, and I was just shopping. I was working in Philly. No more college now. You know, skateboarding when I want, filming when I want. Everybody's dream, and I have all the kids from my college that were looking up to me. They thought I was so cool. I was in art school, so I had a graphic designer, a website guy, all of that shit, and they would come over every week and help me, and I'd pay them, and it was awesome. But what really changed is when that YouTube popped out is when like people started to really hit me up. They're like, yo, like we want a YouTube video. They want these videos for their websites. They want them for their Facebooks, and they want to be able to share without making people read. You know, this is like when America started to really get lazy, right when Instagram and YouTube came out. So there was this gentleman in Miami. His name, it doesn't matter, a world champion jiu-jitsu fighter, like #1 Abu Dhabi champion. Like he wanted to make a video that showed the world his jiu-jitsu school and shared his passion. I was like, that is beautiful. I'll be there, buddy. He paid me substantially, and I was like, this is great, you know? And while we were down there, this is where it all starts to tie together, and we'll move a little forward more from here. But when I was down there making this jiu-jitsu video in Miami with this world champion guy, again, it was cool. I'm like, I'm in Miami on someone else's dollar. I'm like, this is sick. I got a hotel. I'm like, what? Like, couldn't even believe it, but I was having so much fun. And the video did so well. It got 100,000 views in like a day or something ridiculous. And YouTube hit me up. They're like, you ever need anything, holler. And at the time, I was like, no, like, I don't want nothing to do with YouTube. Vimeo was way better. It was way crispier. You know what I mean? Like you could do that HD on Vimeo, and YouTube was just kind of like 480 or whatever. I was like, eh. But anyway, I gave my head nod and said thank you. I'd love for you to put my videos on the homepage anytime, sure. So I'm like, just pay attention, thanks. You know, kept uploading. Video did great. Me and the guy made a jiu-jitsu academy. We decided to build it online, so he would do these instructionals because he was a teacher, and he was very disciplined, you know, like as a martial artist, black belt would be. And it was really easy to work with someone that professional and that consistent. So we made series of like 90 moves, and we put them on a DVD set, and we sold about 10,000 units in like an hour. And that didn't just happen overnight. You know, I went and trained for marketing, online direct response marketing for a hell weekend in Arizona. It's called Infusionsoft. It's like Salesforce is what they do now, but this is a CRM people used to use. And I went and learned it, built an email list on Facebook, gave these guys a free move, gave them a second free move, and then the third one. But wait, there's more. No more moves if you don't buy the DVD. So they buy the DVD, and they loved it. These people are diehard. We're delivering something that they fucking want. Like this was a niche that, like, these guys, they sleep, they train, they eat, they train. They might work if they can a little bit. Then they train, and then they go home and watch training videos online. So like I found this like deep desire, like fucking gnarly passion for jiu-jitsu that these people have, and we made them a product that they needed. None of them are real tech guys, you know. They just like rolling around the mats, fucking each other up. So it did so well, the DVDs, that we put them into a membership website that was like free for a month, and then $37 a month. And I learned how to build that back end funnel system, and it was great. Thousands of members paying $40 a month. I was like 21, 20 years old. It's going awesome. So we brought in all the UFC fighters, started working with all these other kickboxing guys, made it more than jiu-jitsu, sold that company, and moved to Los Angeles, where your question can now be answered, right?
There we go. There we go.
So I know that was very long-winded, but it's important to get, like there was a early content piece in my past, right? And then there was like making these videos before YouTube manually with a VCR, bro. Can you believe I'm that old? Manually with a VCR. And then there was the whole school thing and the Bam Margera thing and then the jiu-jitsu thing. I'm just learning like these skills and just like honing in, like to learn and understand that whole funnel mentality and how to communicate with the masses is extremely difficult. And I sat in these classes and I spent hours and hours and hours on every single word in the email when we would go to sell something, and the subject line, like that shit fucking matters. And like that copywriting is a whole world. I mean, there's courses on it and experts on it and all these internet marketing guys. But anyway, I had my fun and I sold the company. It was awesome. So I took that money, packed my bags literally on an airplane, like did not think this through, ended my lease like abruptly, like I think early. I think I like fucked that up. But anyway, I jumped on an airplane, and at the time, first class had no limit to how many checked bags you have. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm moving to LA, get myself a nice ticket. I brought 12 checked bags on this airplane, dog. I'm not kidding. I had to take 2 scheduled cars to get there. And it was sick. And I pulled up. I paid my rent up front for 6 months, which was crazy. I'd never been able to do that before. I sold a company, bought a red camera and a drone, and started just like trying to I didn't even have to hustle. I was like, I want to meet everybody. So I went to all the parties, and the people I met from BAM and the skateboarders from my life, from being a pro skateboarder, like skating's so big and accepted now. By the time that I got out here, like it was cool. The barracks was around and Olympic sports happening, and like it's just getting huge, right? So I just chilled, and I didn't find much work, and I fell flat on my face in LA. 6 months later, the rent bill was due, and I didn't have any income. And I had this nice camera and this drone, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, that was fun. I met a lot of great people, went to a lot of great parties, networked my ass off, but nothing. So like I was just ready to pack it up and go back to Philly and try again, and just because it's easy to be the king over there, so I was just over it. And then my mom like gave me this lecture. She's like, Eddie, get your fucking ass up before the other motherfuckers in the morning. I don't care if they get up at 6, get up at 5:50 fucking 9, get on Craigslist, and you tell those motherfuckers that you're available. And I was like, I love you, Mom. Thanks. I'll give it like another week, till the bills due, and then I'm out. And the next morning I got up. I literally got up. I remember it was at 5:30. I snoozed it to like 5:55. And my mom was right. At 6 a.m. there was an ad for the director of photography for a Galantis music video had gotten food poisoning, and they needed a red camera and a drone in the next 2 hours. So I was like, holy shit, Mom. I got goosebumps. I was like, holy fuck. I'm like, really? I'm like, yo, take the ad down. I'm on my way. Here's my work. Here's my shit. Here's what I've done. Here's the BAM this, BAM that, all the other stuff. And here's a music video from Philly and this and that. And they hired me on the spot. They took the ad down. I got paid $1,200 for like a 16-hour day, a shoot. And that music video got 350 million views. Like, it's insane. And everyone's heard the song, and it's in movies. And when that happens, right, when your work gets those kind of eyeballs in Los Angeles, other people call you. So then the next video was Iggy Azalea, and then the next video.
All right, I'm gonna cut you off before we go further, because I love this.
Go ahead.
No, yeah. This to me is what I love about these conversations, because I love knowing how somebody got to where they're at right now. Because I think one of the more interesting things is oftentimes we look at like, hey, this is where you are now, but if we don't rewind and ask yourself, how do you get to this position to begin with? Because there's so many parallels with what's going on right now. Like when you talk about the early days of YouTube, I think one of the first videos I ever uploaded, and this is probably when I was like 13 or 14, was a giant dick that I made in the sand in Hawaii, right? So it was
Stop it, really?
No bullshit. I think I got 80,000 views on this. I mean, like a 10-foot long dick.
Huge.
I mean, yeah. And I took that down when I got into podcasting and realized I should probably not have that up there. But the
it should be there.
But it was like it paid to be early, right? Because that you upload that video now, it's not getting any views. It might
there's a lot of dicks on YouTube in the sand, probably.
Yeah. So,
but your goofy ass had a good idea.
But well, not even that. I think I was just 13 and thought it was funny. But the thing about it is like it pays to be early on things, right? And like then moving out to LA and I know that journey of like when you're out here, the biggest thing you hear all the time is the term networking, right? Like and a lot of times it's people's excuse to like go to parties, get drunk, get coked out,
literally.
Whatever, and they're like, well, I'm networking, right? And I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, the best connections you're ever gonna make in life are when you're sober, right? And,
absolutely.
And I'm not saying that you can't have drinks or you can't do that or you can't do this, but I'm saying like when you actually when like the best conversations, even just you and I meeting, we met when we did oh my God, the fucking, what's the word I'm looking for?
The thing?
Where we went around the city.
The scavenger hunt for nippies and DGods, right? Is that where we met?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to ask you that during this. I was wondering where we met.
Like
cool.
in IRL, right?
Yeah.
So the scavenger hunt was the first time we met, right? And it's like a sober thing that we were doing on like a Sunday morning at like 9 a.m. Right? And so, for me, I always think when it comes to networking, it's like if you meet people and you have these great conversations with them, it's one of the most important things that you can do, but you have to know time and place. When you're out at 2 a.m. in West Hollywood, are you really going to meet somebody? Are they really going to remember you? Are they really?
Yo, I just got this sick NFT. Yo, my project start. Yo, like the dude's trying to talk to a girl. Leave him the fuck alone.
Right. And it's so easy to get distracted by everything that's going on here because there's so much that's going on, right?
Yeah.
And so it's one of the biggest reasons why most people don't last more than a year in LA, because it's a very, very difficult city to come here, survive, find a niche that actually works, right? Because that's the biggest thing. No matter what you did back in, me in Michigan or you in Philadelphia, you come out here, you have to like there was an article I read, and it's an article that I still think about to this day. It was right when I moved to LA, somebody sent it to me, and the article was just straight to the point, and it was like, listen, the first thing you need to know about LA is that you don't matter. LA will survive without you. LA will continue to thrive without you. You are a cog in the machine, but this machine is up and going. And if you leave the machine, somebody else replaces you in the machine. And so they said, LA, you do not matter. You are not special. There are a billion people that are just as talented as you. Like that is the reality of it. And it's for a lot of people that are like, that's really cold, right? And it's like,
it's the truth.
But it's
the talent pool out here is unreal. If someone's got the balls to move out here, they're probably good at what the fuck they do, right? Like to be honest, like if you're gonna get up and leave Michigan or Springfield or Florida or Arkansas or Texas, like you've definitely got some sauce, right?
Yeah.
But that sauce is amongst a lot of sauce.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so it becomes more of like not only just how talented you are, but are you an easy person to work with? Can people trust you? Are you reliable? Like those sort of things.
Can you read the fucking room?
Right.
Like the social skill is equally as important as your technical skill in Los Angeles, if not more, right? Because I'd say my biggest skill is my social skill. I've went and learned the trade over and over again. I learned film. I learned marketing. I learned NFTs. I learned like it's fine. I can do that. But the way that I can read the room and navigate myself through whatever the situation or whatever the road is, like I'm good at that and I'm confident in that. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's the most important part. Like when you come to LA, like sure, everybody can film, everyone's got a camera, everybody can edit. Like, you know what I mean? Why am I special? Because I'm fun to be around. I might make you giggle a little bit, and I'll probably say some absurd shit. You know what I mean? Along the way, and like, and of course I'll be on time. Of course I'll be like that's assumed. Like you must be good. Like that's just the bare minimum. Then it's like, can I stand to be near this person? Is pretty much like it's very social out here. It's very social.
I mean that is the biggest thing is that I even when I was doing photography full time, I would always say to myself, I'm like, there are plenty of people who are far more talented than me. There are people who are going to be able to turn around the work quicker and everything like that. The biggest thing that I can always make sure that I do is make sure that the people that I'm working with feel comfortable, that they enjoy themselves, and that they want to do this again, right? And if I'm doing those three things, those people are going to choose to work with me over somebody who's more talented than me if they don't enjoy their time with that person, right? So
focused on your customer too, right? There's like Jeff Bezos is obsessed with that word.
So okay, so I want to get more into. So you put out the Galantis music video. I don't want to go as detailed because we'll be talking here for 25 years.
Yeah,
but I love it. But want to go from how did you get from, give me kind of like the next steps. Like you go from shooting
so
that to what happens after
I shot a ton of music videos. I shot a bunch of YouTube stuff. YouTube turned on monetization, and all these creators wanted to hire the best directors around and the best DPs, I'd say, around to make their content better because monetization's on. So these guys now have an incentive to make better content. These vloggers that were just like all day, it had a step up, and that's when you saw the Casey Neistat step up and the Jesse Wellens, and that's when you started to see me on Instagram because all those guys started tagging me, right? And you started seeing me around Vitaly and all these other guys, right? And all these music artists and all these photographers and all these LA people because it was time to upgrade the content.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And so, okay, so then take me to how do you eventually get into crypto? Like, where did you end up getting like red pilled into that?
Yeah, so the content led me to Lyft and Postmates, which was a huge part of my life because my boy got a job over there, and he was like, Eddie, can we go promote this car service with all of the people that you're around, like the celebrities, the YouTube people, like all of that shit, right? All the people I was making content with, straight up, and all the people I was friends with, and the pro skaters were cool now. So basically, he asked me if we could do like I didn't know what a marketing campaign was, but do like a marketing campaign with these guys. I'm like, nope. You know what I mean? Like not interested. I just spent my entire grueling life trying to get these relationships, and I'm now happy and have an income. So like I don't want to fuck it up. But he was persistent, and I've learned a thing about persistent people. You should give them a shot once in a while. So we gave him a shot, and the first little Lyft test that we did generated thousands and thousands of new users in a matter of minutes. So that is when my life changed, and that's when everything switched again. It's like, I went and brought Lyft 2.2 million customers in 6 months with my campaign from social media. And that's when you saw in 2016, 2015, everyone sharing their little Lyft code with that little pink bar under their photo. I'm talking to Kardashians, like even like Jessica Alba, like you name it, all the way to Casey Neistat and Jesse Wellens and Jerry Perkdrank and all these like pro skaters like Nick Tucker. I had everybody. Anyone I'd ever shot with. So anyway, that campaign worked, and I made a big splash. I did the same thing with Postmates and the same thing with a couple other companies, DraftKings, right? I was like doing these like these very specific marketing campaigns. That money was the first time I wasn't like poor or in like debt, you know what I mean? Besides when I sold the company. So I got a little taste of it, and I started to look at like, what do you do with like a little bit of money? Like what are people doing? And this is right early. This is like probably 2016. Around 2016, and where I was working out of at the time, I hopped around offices. I was like a marketing consultant, and the guy had like a ton of warehouses where he was mining Bitcoin, and I'm like, what the fuck's mining a Bitcoin? Like, I definitely heard of Bitcoin, and I definitely know about you can get little CD cases of drugs sent to your crib with Bitcoin. But, and obviously, I heard people talking about it, but it wasn't like it was 2016, end of 2016. So anyway, I put a little into that, learned a lot from that gentleman. And that was really successful monetarily, the mining, right? So that was my first step. And then it's like, oh, what are we mining? We're mining tokens. What are these tokens? So then I got into DeFi, right? Bought a few tokens, did well. I literally bought Bitcoin the first day, like when I was doing the miner thing, on my phone, on like before it was called Coinbase Pro, it was called something else. It was like DexLab or Dex something. It had Pro Tool Pro. I don't care. Whatever it was called. Who cares? Anyway, I had some old Bitcoin in there, and I found it like just like a few months ago, and it was awesome. Big day. But anyway, I got into Bitcoins, got into DeFi, and just by throwing some money into it. And then eventually, one of the guys from my journey told me that he was starting a DeFi launch pad. And I didn't know what that meant. This is like when the crypto hits, right? And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if they were serious. It sounded scammy. Everyone wanted to do tokens at the time, before NFTs really blew up. And I was like, we saw Doge, and this is right about that time. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, maybe. Like, it sounds cool. I'm like, all right. I'm like, if you're serious, you'll fly me to you. So, they flew me up to SF, and they had a real office, and they were real people, and they had a real vision, and they had a VP from Nike on their team, and they had like a bunch of cool cats, like the photographer guy who actually brought me into that thing. You probably know who he is. Named Grady Brennan. He's like G-Eazy's photographer. Yeah. He's amazing. So he brought me into this randomly brought me into this DeFi launchpad. It was called Firestarter. And it was awesome. We launched a ton of tokens. A bunch of them did great. You probably remember Flame on KuCoin. It like ripped for like during the last bull run. That was our whole thing. And I loved it. And then like DeFi is DeFi. So then I started to see the images with the NFTs. And I'm like, that's fucking cool. I'm like, this is getting better, isn't it? So I got into it. And I got rugged a few times, on Discord, on Ethereum. And the rest is just fucking history, man. Got some ETH NFTs and then sold them all, got some Sol NFTs, and you know, from the last year, I think most people that are watching probably have an idea of where I've been and what I've been up to, but it's all led to this. So it's great. That's where the Web3 came in. It all happened, man, all from filming skateboarding, right? Like that whole story that was very long-winded. I appreciate if you actually listen to it, but it all really connects and comes together, and to use all of those separate skills into what this Web3 thing is. You know?
I mean, I truly do believe life is a series of like these mini things that happen, and the next thing you know, you start piling all these mini things together, and you look back over the course of time, and it's like it led to all of this crazy shit. But like if you didn't put yourself in like one tiny position, who knows that next thing happens.
The trip
like,
with Bam, the choice to go to Drexel, the choice to do the YouTube video, to work with the jiu-jitsu guy, to do not, like you know, it's any single decision change would have led down a different path, which is crazy to think about.
Like nothing happens by mistake. Like that is always my biggest thing. Is like it's every little thing is just happening, and like it's sometimes hard to look at each day and like because day by day it doesn't seem like a ton changes, but then you look back over the course of like we're already in March of 2023, right?
Fuck yeah, I know.
You think about like where things were in January. It's like life changes so quickly, but day by day it doesn't seem like much does, and then you look back and a shit ton has, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so I want to talk about now. You get into NFTs.
Yeah.
What was your first moment where you thought like, hey, this is actually something, like this isn't just some random fad? Like what was the moment where you kind of got hooked?
I know the moment. I know the exact moment because I was sitting at Post Malone's manager's house by chance, and we were smoking and talking. I was catching him up, and he hung up his phone. He was like, these motherfuckers, man. He's like, they won't stop hitting me about NFTs, bruv. He's like, he just wouldn't. He was like, I'm like, I know, bro. Because I was talking to Marshmallow before, and he was like, bro, everyone's hitting me about these NFTs. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And at the time, I do know about DeFi and all that, but I'm not going to go sell my Web2 superheroes like on any of this shit. So I just kind of kept quiet. But I remember that moment. I'm like, these two guys are talking about it. The two biggest managers in entertainment, the guy that manages Post Malone and the guy that manages Marshmallow, and then Scooter Braun, the three biggest in the world, are talking about this. Now they're complaining about it and saying no to it, but they're talking about it. And right then and there, I left Post Malone's house where he records, and I went to my house, and I started to look into NFTs. And I started clicking links. And I, in a bad way, I started clicking links, right? Like I found a MetaMask on Google, read a couple things, but I got jumped to do a Discord. I went to where I know. So I went to my influencer friends to look for data. And that was the biggest mistake. That leads to my first rug. But that moment when I heard Dre and when I heard Post Malone's team talking about it and all that, I was like, yeah, this is not going anywhere.
Yeah. No, it's similar experiences, I think, for a lot of us, is kind of start hearing more and more people talk about it. It's also the sign of like when you know that you're in the middle of a bull is when you see everybody talking about it, right? And then a bear where all those people disappear, and then you always know when the bull's starting to come back when you start having your normie people saying to you,
yeah,
hey, are you still in that crypto thing? So that's when we'll know, right? We're still a ways away from that.
I fell in love with the bear in the last year, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like listen, my monetary side hasn't, but like, fuck that. Like I care so much more about the happiness, and that's the reason that I'm here. Like to be present, to be joyous. I can't be jolly if I'm doing something I don't love. So the fact that I've fallen in love with this bear market and like watching how hard people build and how much, and like to get something out, what it really takes, and like it takes a certain type of person to even have the nuts to put something out at this point in our current ecosystem at the current standings.
Yeah.
But it still happens every day, and there's still someone grinding, and there's still someone taking a risk with the investment. There's still someone sweating 16 hours a day passionately to share their idea with someone. And like, yeah, that grit and that grind is just so beautiful. And like, I can't wait to party with the bear market boys after this, during the next rally. You know, the last bull market was so fun, but like this bear market was like beautiful. It really was. Like the hacker houses and like what Solana did in the last year, for example, just giving all these people a platform and outlet to go create a business and go be a developer and like go build something on this platform is beautiful. And I keep seeing like dope businesses pop up, spin up out of there. And like, you know, like that, you know, like these guys needed something to do. A lot of these devs lost work, don't have a place to go. This hacker house comes to your city, and the next thing you know, you're a CTO. The next thing you know, you meet a CM. The next thing you know, you're in Miami with the same people. You're at a podcast with Marc. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way that big, long, drawn out story that I told you happens in this ecosystem and everywhere on a smaller scale, like that I've just seen in the last year is just utter brilliance. Like, the way that the people come together in this space. Like, because Web 2 was, for me, was always it was always a lot of competition, and with Web 3 there's a lot of collaboration. So like, I'll choose collaboration over competition all day. Why not get along with someone, make it easier? Why not let everybody win? Like, there's no big brother corporate dad standing over you trying to like make fucked up decisions. There's a few, but we see them, we smell them, and they're gone, you know? So like it's like a free world, man. You know what I mean? It really is. It's really special.
Yeah, no, it really is. And it's one of the things that gets me excited about this, because during a bull market, it's like, you can pretty much do anything and it's going to work and, you know, whatever. But when you're here during the bear, like the people who are actually still spending time in this, it reminds me once again of like the early days of YouTube, the early days of Instagram, the early days of Twitch, where it didn't really seem like, is there going to be a payoff of all of this, right? Like, and it always reminds me that if you put in that work when no one's really looking, those are the people that always do well when everything is on that large scale, right? So when people are looking at this space and they're like, damn, NFTs were so damn obvious, how did we ignore it? The people who are here during that time period are going to be the people that are killing it when everybody is noticing it, right? So it's always one of those things that keeps me motivated. It's also the other thing that keeps me motivated is like, we have so many incredible minds in this space. And as I get to know more and more people and find out about their backgrounds and what they do, I'm like, dude, this isn't just a bunch of like degens who just like are, you know, like who have no education or no like life education, right? They've done crazy things. They've gone crazy places. They know all these different people. It's like, dude, we have some brilliant minds in this space. And that's the thing that gets me super excited about being here. So my next thing for you is that, you know, so you get into NFTs, and then how do you start like working in the field? How did you like start learning? What was your learning process? Was it just buying a bunch of shit, learning from there, and then being able to apply that as you started working in the space?
Bro, I'm so fucking aggressive in my life. Like, when I want something or I like it, like if I get into something, like that's it, bro. Like try talking to me. Like I'm not looking. You know what I mean? And something about it. Again, I had that experience with the mining and some major success with tokens. And I'm like, I just saw it and I got it. I'm like I could see communities being built much easier around this, because the communities on the DeFi side they tend to get scammy, bro. Like those Telegram groups and shit, and like people getting robbed on pre-sales and that whole world. Like, it's beautiful and it's ugly too. So I'm like, well this one looked a little more innocent. A little bit. Don't get me wrong. We have all that inner NFT drama, right? But fuck that for now. The NFTs as a whole seemed a little more innocent than the DeFi. There's a little emotion there, like, because there's an image, and that image must trigger something, right? Like, or at least for some people. So I don't know. I got real hooked in there, and I fucked up a few times. I minted like Jake Paul made an Instagram story about something I bought once. Bought a couple other rugs from Instagram stories. But as I went through and learned, I helped Nikki Diamonds. There's a company called Diamond Supply Company. It's been around forever. Famous skate brand, like 30 years old. I helped him with his ETH NFT a bit, and I learned a lot through that process too. And from there, like that really showed me how to kind of do it right-ish for the first time I saw that. And then I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not going to buy off an Instagram story. There has to be someone like Nikki, like this passionate founder there. So I started to kind of like pick up those signals, right? And then use all my life experience to just kind of start judging better projects and finding better people. And then like when I realized that some of these goofballs in my life that I've been laughing at for the last year were making 6-7 figures, I called them up and I'm like, hey, dude, like I started talking to my boy. I'm like, what should I do with this? I got like 30-60 grand. Like well, what should I do? And this was the day before the ape coin came out, right? So, like, I'm like, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll just buy the mutant ape, and then right before the token comes out at midnight, I'll sell it. So that other people think like that, too. And that's called priced in, ladies and gentlemen. So I bought a priced in mutant ape right before the ape coin, and I had a heart attack when the price didn't change. So I went all in. I'm like, fuck it. Here goes my entire savings from the last couple of years. And I kept it to claim the token, man. And then the Mutant Apes went from, I paid 30 ETH for it. It went down, it was like 65K. It went down to like 14 fucking ETH in like a half hour. I literally jumped in my hot tub, jumped in my pool, took a nap, and was just kind of like sad. And then I woke up from my sad nap. The sun had went down, and the price of ApeCoin was $25, and the mutants were 32 ETH, and I sold both of them things faster than the speed of light, and I never wanted to feel that feeling again. So I wanted to find more consistent NFTs, and that's when Solana happened. And I went to a hacker house and met all those people and bought my first Solana NFT and put all that money from the ape stuff into Sol. And I've been spending most of my NFT time on Sol. I love Ethereum. I buy a lot there, but most of my time on Solana. And that's when the mission went from like, okay, the DeFi thing was like a job, a nice salary job, to like, this is now my passion, and I'm going to make this whole thing bigger and better than it ever was. Here I am. You know what I mean? Like, I loved it. After that first Hacker House, I was in, baby. So like, yeah, that there's two moments. The one at Posty's house, where I was just a young Padawan, to like oh shit, this Hacker House, this shit's real. These people are real. This Solana thing's fast. Like, I don't even have to pay gas. I'm sitting there hitting transactions and shit. Like, fell in love with it. I'm like, I will make this better.
Okay, so now from here, I want you to run through like you then ended up doing this, you ended up doing this, you ended up doing that. So run through like all the different things that you ended up doing from there.
All right, Solana Hacker House. It was exactly about a year ago, right? A little over a year ago.
Yeah,
sure. So it was exactly a year ago, and then I met the guys there who actually like created NFTs on Solana. So I did work with Trash Pandas as like a consultant, right? Mm-hmm. just to help them figure some things out, and then that turned into a full-time job with Cupcake and Raindrops and Trash Pandas. Were all under one company called B&J Studios, and I spent about their first 6 to 8 months there with them, and that was cool. Made a big splash, did a lot of really big things. And then since then, I went and became a partner at a crypto casino that's been built for the last year, which is fucking awesome. It's super cool. It's called Dual Casino. Check that out. And also, so I'm a partner at Dual, and I work on them with marketing, right? So I own a part of that company, and I'm not going anywhere. So like, that thing's great. $40 million US volume in the first 8 weeks. And at the same time, I'm on the marketing / community team for Claynosaurs, which is awesome. Project's cranking. Everyone loves the Clayno dinos, Clay dinos. And then I help on a smaller level with Metaplex as more of like an advisor. Literally, I have an advising agreement with them. So I bring some creators through and such like that, so they have strong, powerful tools to use when they come to Solana. Trusted as well, not swiping up on Instagram like me. And there's also Uggs, who I help out with a little bit, Underground Society, and then Tiny Animals with Superpowers. So I advise 3 projects. I'm a partner in one, and I'm on the team for another.
There we go. There we go. No, I love
How's
that.
that?
Yeah. No,
a little shorter?
Yeah.
No, do my best.
No, that's great. No, and I love that you mentioned Claynosaurs. I'm very much looking forward to having them on the podcast soon and diving into all of that. That is by far my favorite art in all of NFTs.
Bro, so come on. Emotionally. Just look at them things.
They're so damn cute. So cute.
They're so cute. The babies love them.
The little tongue out. Yeah, just love it. Love it.
Bro, I'm the voice in the trailer.
All right.
I'm the rah! In like their actual trailer. Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. Wow.
Yep. Thank you. Shout out me.
I thought that was a dinosaur when you just did that noise. I was like, wait a second.
I'm sorry, dude. Keep them eyes open. You might get scared.
Okay, so then I want to get into, so you've gone to obviously a lot of these NFT events. You talk about Hacker House and things like that. After going to a bunch of these different events, after going to places like NFT New York and things like that, what do you think we need to do to like improve these events? What can we do to make them even better?
I think they need to be a mix of like, from the event and conference side, it needs to be more like the Hacker Houses and like Solana's like Lisbon and Breakpoint events. And then on the entertainment and fun side, it needs to be more like ETH's NFT NYC. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be a solid mix of side events, and the conference can't suck, right? Like, no one's going to NFT New York for the most part, the conference. No offense to anybody. Yeah. And most people aren't going to the actual conference for NFT LA either, right? Because of probably the programming needs more help, and we just need more money in the ecosystem, man. Like, there's some people busting their ass to make these conferences happen, but it's really hard to get us to go there. Like, I want to come meet my friends from my communities, from our NFTs on the side, right? Like, I want to go hang with the D guys. I want to go hang with the Claynosaurus guys. I want to go hang with the Liberty guys. Like, that's what I want to do. But I don't know. I think the best crypto event I've been to is Lisbon. I think Solana's Breakpoint is the most well thought out, well produced, and well curated conference. I think people could literally watch the video and just take a note. Obviously, it's expensive, and other people don't necessarily have the means to like maybe put on such production value or what, but the way that they did it, when we went to Lisbon, there were 4 different venues, 1 mile away from each other. They had little tuk-tuks, local guys on these electric bike carts taking you around. Like, there's food, there's drinks, there's speakers. That it's not like 8 hours of speakers. There'd be like 2 hours, break, 2 hours, break. It's just, I think the programming is so important. I think it's really important. I think Austin Federa and the Solana Foundation do such a good job on that. You know?
I think, I think we need to find ways to get more people who are just interested in going in general. Like, even if you don't really know anything about NFTs, right? Like, I think there's ways that we can include other forms of tech where it might interest somebody who's like, hey, I'm not really into NFTs yet, but like, I want to learn more about this, right? I do think, I worry sometimes about when we use like the music as like hey, the Diplo's performing. I'm like,
oh fuck, come on.
Yeah, like, is that really going to be enough? Like, there's if you're in any big city, there's a trillion concerts on a regular basis.
Diplo,
like,
you can see 400 times a year if you please,
right?
Literally.
Yeah,
I mean, and LA people that don't get if you're new to LA, if you hear Diplo's at the party, don't end your weekend for it. He's playing everywhere.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I just feel like we need to find more interesting ways to get people to learn about NFTs, and not necessarily because I feel like oftentimes the space is very gatekept in terms of like we use all these different terms that are really difficult for people to understand. Like, I have always thought like the non-fungible token is like, it holds us back when we say stuff like that.
It's weird.
The average person hears non-fungible token, they're like, what the fuck is that, right? You say digital collectible, they're like, all right, I can basically understand that, right? You talk about the decentralized autonomous organization, and that's such a
my
mouthful.
God.
And
is that what DAO stands for?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And you're like, dude,
axe that one, boys.
It's like we already have terms for these things. That's a club. That's a group, whatever you want to call it. Like non-fungible token, that's a digital collectible. We already have these terms. Why are we making more? Because then the average person hears that and they're like, dude, I have no clue what language you guys are speaking. I don't know what this is.
And then the dude you tried to sell NFTs to last year, now you're calling them digital collectibles. He's gone. Right. He's confused.
Yeah.
He's out.
So we got to simplify it. So
I want to give you a good example of it too. Sorry, if you can finish.
No, you go for it. Yeah,
I think like Claynosaurus is taking a fucking killer stab at this, right? So like for NFT LA, like our approach wasn't to be so like inclusive. I think that's the word. Like we don't want like just our holders from Solana there. Like we want the people that are from LA that
you mean they're not trying to be so exclusive.
Exclusive. Is that what it is? Inclusive?
Yeah. Inclusive means everybody can
I want it to be more inclusive.
Yes.
Sorry guys, I dropped out of college. I was pretty clear about that. That's why I asked. I'm like, this sounds wrong. Well, anyway, like the point is it's like they want more new people. We want to expand the community. We want more people to come in, and like they use this like NFC technology which is really easy for people to use that have like never been there before at the event, so people can come up and tap their cell phone on like this gift or prize or whatever it is, or a table or a sticker or a chair or a poster or a t-shirt or whatever it is. Imagine just being able to go tap, and then within 30 seconds, you have a wallet created that's tied to your phone number. It's not even called a wallet. It's just there. And the NFT's in there. You don't have to fucking go nuts and do anything for it. So doing things like that is how mass adoption is going to happen. Educating, getting all of us into one standard vocabulary, ending the cross-chain battles, and being as one is very important as well. And all of those things in one with a good program, a good experience, and, just more time. More people putting in their 10,000 hours like you and I have, like the more people that do that and give us their time so generously, the more people that are going to come and follow. Because now, I mean, like, people call, like, I know it's so cliche, but like people from high school calling me for jobs, like, like straight up, like people calling me for jobs, like, Eddie, what do you do? Can I work in there? I'm like, if there's ever a spot, I'll give them an entry role, but it's, I think the mass adoption is just going to come from that, right? Like Mr. Beast giving out an NFT is not how you mass adopt NFT, but if Mr. Beast scans a QR code and it's a digital collectible, and this little kid has a dinosaur, and then when he gets his next Mr. Beast Happy Meal, the dinosaur has like a longer tail or a new shirt on or something, right? Now his digital collectible is evolving, right? So like all that can happen on chain, and we don't need to praise the chain and use all these complicated words. We can just have a toy. Yeah, we can have a digital toy. I think a fucking digital toy. Wow, really?
Like when you think about QR codes, right?
Yeah.
Like QR codes probably came out, I don't know, probably like 8 years ago.
They've been out.
I don't really feel like they actually found a solution that worked for people until COVID hit, and all of a sudden all these places
fucking
were
menus,
like,
man.
Hey, we don't really want menus. We don't really want people touching that spread.
For the record, I want a paper menu anywhere I eat. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
See, to be honest, I kind of like the digital
Stop
menu.
it.
The reason why I say that is because then it probably means to me that you can switch it up more often. Sometimes I want some new options,
Listen,
right?
Mark, I'm not against trying new things and broadening my horizons, but the QR code menu, I'm Italian.
Whatever. I'm going to keep you from going off on a tangent. The reality of it is,
control me.
The reality of it is, QR codes have been around for a long time. It took until 2020 to really find a solution that actually made your life easier. And at that time, it was using QR codes as menus, right?
Yeah.
And so I look at a lot of the NFT part of things, and I'm like, have we really found a way to use the tech to make people's lives easier yet. No, we haven't.
we're
Once we find that, we're going to be in a beautiful position. But at the end of the day, I always say, like, the tech has to work for you. You don't work for the tech. And so the tech, a lot of times, you know, you get people that are like, oh, well, the TPS of this, the nodes of this, the blah, 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 the chain of this.
Fuck?
And I'm like, dude, 99.99% of people don't give a shit about the tech aspect. If it makes their life easier, they will tell somebody else about it.
The kid smiles because he likes his toy. The parents like the toy. And that toy could just happen to be an NFT tech toy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't need to, nothing else.
Yeah.
Kid likes the toy.
Don't
I like the toy
overcomplicate
too.
it. Yeah.
Period. The toy distracts kid. You know?
The easiest thing to think about is think about the things in your life that you tell other people about, right? If something makes your life easier, you're always way more likely to go and tell a shit ton of people about it because it made your life easier, right?
Yep.
So we have to find ways for the tech to make somebody's life easier, and that's the way that you're going to get them interested. But if you think about like Venmo, for example, almost all of us use Venmo, all of us have Venmo accounts and things like that. I don't know how Venmo works. I don't give a shit.
Who the fuck? What are we praising Stripe Network on the back end? You know credit card processing?
Like, you know what function I don't know how it works? You know when you sign up for something and it's like it's going to send a code to your phone and then the code pops up in the little bubble and it's like, this is the code and you just press it and it fills it in.
That is tech working for me, dog. I love the pre-fill
the
auto pre-fill on the code.
Yes,
when you're withdrawing from KuCoin or whatever the fuck else. Yes, give me that. That's tech working. Thank you.
I don't need to know how it works. It makes my life easier, right?
I love that thing. I love that thing.
It's same.
How about the copy and paste from iMac to iPhone? Have you done it?
Oh, dude, I get bricked up every time.
You guys know this?
Yeah.
You can copy from your iPhone or from your MacBook and paste on one another.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Give me that tech.
Right. Yes. So that's what I'm talking about. It makes your life so
Very
much simpler,
well said.
right?
Very
So okay,
well
so
said.
now I want to hear your thoughts on this. This might be controversial. We're going to get controversial for a second.
All right.
I want to hear your thoughts on the Saga phone.
Okay.
Give me your honest to God thoughts.
Honest to God, reactive answer. A for effort.
Positive and negative.
A for effort. First response. A for effort, right? Solana, A for effort. The A for effort on Solana Spaces with the retail stores. A for effort on the phone. It's a shame that the world is so addicted to iPhones because this thing is sick and we need it and we need to use mobile crypto like that. But it just couldn't be done on an Apple phone because of the iTunes store rules, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I think we need it. We need it to learn from it. I'm literally waiting for mine in the mail. I will have it. I have two phones right now. They're both iPhones. I'm going to get rid of the one iPhone and put it as that second phone. As a consumer, do I think it's attractive? No. My dad, the CPA in Philly who retired, 70 years old, going to buy a Saga phone? Absolutely not. But I hope that all of the developers that have been spending so much time on the mobile stack and that Solana, who has spent a lot of time and money on this hardware, get together and learn a lot so that Apple can hire those motherfuckers to go do it right over there at Apple. Because I think that's what's going to end up happening. I think whoever's running the show over there at Apple now is going to give Tolley a phone call. And I tweeted this, and it was funny because I want to remember this moment because I think that Solana is going to be accountable for the mass adoption chain for cell phones and for mobile, right? Like I love using mobile. Like I'm a mobile maxi dog. I love it. And I think this is just such a necessary step. Am I bullish on a new Android phone? No, dog. I like the iPhone. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody wants those green techs.
But I think it's going to lead to the iPhone. I think it's going to lead to the crypto iPhone. So for that reason, I have bought one and I'm proud of it and I'm going to use it.
Yeah, the way I look at it is if you do it right, there's always going to be a niche for it, right? At the same time, the way I've always kind of looked at Apple to me doesn't innovate a lot. What they do to me is they take a really good idea that somebody else came up with and they just perfect it from there, right? So to me, the way I look at the Saga and why I want it to succeed is I want it to succeed where it comes up with these incredible use cases for NFT technology, crypto technology, and things like that. And then I want Apple to be like, hey, we can't avoid this. Like, this is something that we have to implement, and we have to find a way for there to be a better solution than what we currently have, which is these 30% fees and things like that, which make it damn near impossible to do anything with crypto on iPhones. And so
it's ridiculous.
Right. And so that's
what they did to Steppen. They fucking dissected it.
But we have to find ways to make it where it's impossible to avoid. Right now, Apple can avoid it, right? They don't need to worry about us. We're too small. We don't have enough people in the ecosystem, things like that. Yeah. If we make it impossible to avoid, they will have no choice but to implement what we're doing, take these really cool ideas, make it even better, put that Apple touch on it, and that way we can still
just
get our
like
blue text.
Facebook with Instagram, right? Like
100%.
Inevitable.
Yeah.
Fucking inevitable.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was going down. So like it's the same thing. And I'm not going to be surprised that when all of these dApp developers who are building in the bear market come out and win when it's time to build the Apple Web3 phone. You know what I mean? And the guys that are working on it worked at Apple before. Like Armani's from Apple. Like he's working on the best dApp situation out of all of them. And then like Austin Federa is brilliant with the communication over there. I really think they're going to succeed. I just think it's going to take some time.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
That's the phone.
Okay, so my next question for you is: so when you're looking at a project and you have this strategy, right? Of some projects are going to be projects where you're like, hey, this is a long-term hold. This is one I want to hold to Valhalla, right? And then you have some where like this is more of a quick flip, right?
Yeah.
What do you look for in a team to decide whether it's something that's a long-term hold, something that you believe in the long term, and something that you look at as, hey, this is probably a quick flip, get in and get out?
I've tried and failed at the get in, get out so many times, and I'm a smart fucking cat, right? Like for real. Like I have put in the time. I failed at that so many times that I kind of stopped trying to do that. Like there's always the FOMO run to like get a quick flip in, but it's likely not going to happen unless you come across a God whitelist like last minute, and then you're like, oh shit, wow, I didn't know about that. You know, it's just not going to happen. But what I'm looking for in projects that I do buy for long term, I usually go for people. Like I said, like when we were talking about Los Angeles and what it takes to succeed out here outside of your technical skill is definitely a people social thing. So like, as I said, I'm fairly aggressive, right? So like if there's something I like, I'm going to DM them directly, ask them very straightforward questions, and use all of those journeys I just told you about in my questions and find out if I believe that they can survive a year. So like I try and work backwards from that year. And like I ask myself like that first question, like, could you see yourself buying this in a year? You know what I mean? So I kind of look there, and then I'm like, all right, because that's a great question to ask, right? Like literally, fast forward 1 year. Will I buy this NFT in 1 year? And like, when I say that, I mean like, do you see the company honoring their word, right?
Yeah.
Because hype's one thing, and it's easy to see. And then nowadays, with how easy it is to make content based on our whole conversation here, I can make and edit a full 4K video for you, 30 seconds, to promote anything you want with graphics in probably an hour on my phone. So like now it's like, before it was easier to tell, like, hey, this company's spending money on content, like they have a good plan, they have a good team, they have that. But now it's hard to tell. So I like to, one, go after the founder, go straight to them, talk to them, see what they're about, see if I align with their ethos. Like what is your purpose of existence? That's always like that too. Like will you be there in a year? Could I see myself liking this in a year? Will they keep their word in a year? And then why are you on this earth? Why are you on this? Like why does Project X exist? Like, does Project X exist to deliver a cool tool, like tap in the text, like you mentioned? Do they exist to create entertainment and produce content? Do they exist to deliver news? Do they exist to make you feel something and be a part of a club? Like DGods is a club, in my opinion. Like, what is your purpose of existence? And like a lot of motherfuckers can't even answer that question. You'll get a founder on the like some of these guys are just kids trying, right? And like I don't blame them. But like, yeah, what's your purpose of existence? And then does your purpose of existence Venn diagram overlap on mine at all? And if we have a couple of things in common, like some of the same thing, like reaching the masses, doing something for good, like you know, like if we get aligned just in our conversation, then I'll take it down and be like, okay, so who's gonna keep all your promises? So you've made all these promises. I believe you'll deliver them. I think you'll be there in a year. I think that you're a decent person who comes from a decent place. Doesn't matter. I don't care about your past. Where right now, what do you care about? What do you fully believe in? If I think they're telling me the truth, now it's next. Who's going to keep your promises for you? Yeah. Who's in your corner? Who's in your corner spraying water on your face in the boxing ring when shit's getting tough? Like, are those people going to be there in a year? And then I ask the same questions. And what are their ethos? What are their values? What's their purpose of fucking existence in this project? And those two questions back and forth. You're going to be here for it equals down to consistency over time. That's my formula. If I sense consistency over time is possible, I'll jump in, you know, at this point, you know, like, and I think that's very important for newcomers too. Like, you know, just do your research.
Yeah. So my next question on top of that is then, so we've kind of seen like the whole doxed versus undoxed meta kind of shift over the last, like, course of the last year, right? Yeah. Like, I think a year ago was like pretty much everybody was undoxed, right? Yeah. You and I have been doxed for forever, right?
I've never even considered.
Yeah, same. Face. Yeah. I use my name on everything. I use my face on everything, whatever. But we've seen, you know, people kind of go from this whole, like, everybody being undoxed to now all of a sudden more and more people are doxing on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's a necessary step? Like, what are your thoughts on the doxing versus undoxed?
I think it is 1,000% necessary to show your fucking face, unless it's part of the fucking lore, part of the story. Like for Liberty, I get it. That made sense, and he ended up coming out showing his face, right? Like I thought like that was cool. Like his story makes sense. So like I'm not knocking that, but I think show your face or you're shady at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think there was a time period where I could justify it.
Yeah.
The way I look at it now, and it's my biggest gripe with the whole crypto and NFT space is that there are so many bad actors in this space. What people need to do is they need to be able to look you in the eyes and have some sort of trust in you, right? Yeah. And so right now, more than ever, we need people to be doxxed. We need people to own who they are because we need this space to legitimize. And the way that we do that is not by having the space be so wild, wild west. We need it to be a little bit more organized. We need to look a little bit more legit. And the way that we're going to do that is by having people who elevate as thought leaders, people who are not afraid to put their name and their face out there, people who high quality productions like we're doing here today. Yep. Things like you were talking to me earlier about the tech aspect of Twitter Spaces and making sure your Twitter Spaces sound that much better, right? Yep. Like that's how we legitimize this space is by running it in a top class sort of way. And I think one of my issues with the whole like docs versus undocs is I'm like, dude, if you're undoxed because you're worried about like people like kidnapping you and murdering you or whatever because you have money or whatever, I'm like,
they need a Xanax.
Well, you need a Xanax, and you also need to go to like a rich part of town because where are we just seeing random people just getting murdered all the time? Like,
bro, even on D Block and freaking like in North Philly, that shit. Like, come on, bro. Like what are you talking about? Yeah. That shit don't happen.
Like, dude, you can go. You know how intense the security is for Hidden Hills where Drake lives.
Of course, I've been there. Yeah, it's crazy.
But no, I was gonna say it's not even as crazy as I thought it was gonna be.
It's a gate.
Like it's a gate. You just
go
go
with a dude.
Yeah, they're like,
and they got a list.
Yeah, they got a list.
They don't care who you're seeing. If you're on the list, you go in. If you're not, you don't.
So if the security is that chill for that neighborhood, which has Kendall Jenner, Drake,
Howie
Kanye,
Mandel, Oprah, all
these
of
different
them.
people. Yeah, if it's that chill for that, you'll be just fine.
Why do they all want to live so near each other? Sorry.
It's a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, I guess so.
They got good property sizes there. They got horses and shit. The first time I drove in there, I was like, they got horses. Whatever, we're not going to go on a tangent. But my whole thing is like, we need to legitimize this space. We need to have more people who are not afraid to put their name out there, their face out there. And I think it's a beautiful thing that we have seen the meta shift. And I'm not blaming people who didn't dox right away and whatnot, because once again, the meta at that time was don't dox.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was like, be anonymous.
Yeah.
Be your character. Yeah. But now it's kind of like,
people have gotten rugged too many times.
This is a fucking business, and your customers and your community is all that matters. You'll hear Lucas saying that all the time. Your customer, community, customer. It's all that matters. Why would you give them a reason to doubt you? So if you're this dude with a mask on, your customer's going to say why. Right. And there you go. Right there's your fatal fucking mistake number one. Yeah. Don't give your customer doubt.
Yeah.
Give them confidence in you. Let them know who you are. Relate to them.
100%. So, okay, so I have two last questions for you. So, in the next year, what is your biggest goal from either a personal standpoint or a business standpoint in Web3?
Personal, business. It's the same goal. I can't put a year cap on it, but like I just want 1 billion people using cryptography. Period. I think it's so cool. It's so fun. I don't care if they know that or if they say that. You know what I mean? It could be like when you're using Visa, people don't praise Stripe, right? Yeah. But I just want more and more people to have an opportunity to be a part of this world, to have the kind of self-expression that I've had here, to confidently be my weird self at all times of the day. I don't have to put on a different face. I didn't have to put on a different outfit to come to your house today and do this podcast. If I were in my old world in Web 2, I definitely would have tried to look cooler. Like I threw my sweats on. I got white socks like that are a little dirty and like, you know what I mean? I'm wearing a mushroom sweatshirt and an old cap. Like the fact that you can be yourself, you can be real, and you can be comfortable in your own shoes. Like Web3 is a lot of misfits. We're all a lot of misfits and rejects one way or another, whether we grew up as cool kids, athletes, good looking, not good looking, good at something, not good at something. We're all one form of a misfitter. There's something about our old life that like we just don't want to be a part of. So like finding home has just been the greatest thing ever for me, and that's all I need. So like as far as goals, I've reached my goal. I'm happy. Like it's hard to be happy. It really is. It is hard to be happy. And like, I've never been more confident in my life. I've never been more certain about things. I've never been more happy to smile with my big crooked teeth. Like I've never cared less about my weight to a healthy extent. And like, you know, I am myself, and I'm fucking proud of it. And it took me forever to love myself and be in my own shoes. And I don't think I've ever would have had that without Web3 or the chance to express myself, you know, here in this capacity. So yeah.
There we go. I love that answer. I love that answer. So, so last question for you. So it's super easy. I can't even speak.
G-Eazy? Young Weezy?
It's super easy to be excited about the NFT space when we're in the middle of a bull market and everything's hitting, things like that. What is your reason for being excited about, you know, where we're going, what we're headed, and everything like that during this bear, knowing that it's most likely going to be a year or two before we hit the next bull market? Bull markets or bear markets don't end overnight, right? There's something that take a little bit of time and things like that. So, you know, for you, what's the biggest thing that gets you excited to do this every day, wake up and do something in the space?
I mean, it's like, even with everything down, I just put myself near the outliers, man, and I have fun with the guys that I think are going to win and believe in, and that can check off all of those boxes that I asked you about, that I look for in the projects. You know, if they can do that, and I can go like have a life with these people and like be here every day. It's just, it's something about it, man. It's just like, I don't know. It's not. It's more. I want to say like a place to show up. Like, it's so much more than that. Like I said, it's a place that I call home. And like and I don't know. What's the specific question about the bear markets? Rephrase
just
one
like
more time.
Just what keeps you excited during times like this, knowing that it's probably going to be a year or two before we hit that next bull?
Yeah, like I said, I think finding the outlier keeps me excited. Yeah. Like literally, like finding that Klano, you know what I mean, and getting in with those guys, finding that pudgy on ETH. Like I think the hunt is fun. You know, like the adventure.
It takes a little bit more work right now to find that than it did during the bull market.
It sure does.
It's more rewarding when you hit it now. Right?
It is. It's life's a big adventure, and I'm always looking for my treasure. You know what I mean? And I think all of us are. I think we all are. We're all just on an adventure looking for treasure, and I think that's what keeps me here in the bear. And like, man, like even when we have good days, like I'm never excited to sell these NFTs. I love them so much. Like I love the way they look, and they're all so cute. So you know, like I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, don't give a fuck about the bear market. And I genuinely, bro, I fuck the bear market. Like seriously, like fuck it. Like I did a panel on that in Lisbon with Frank and Armani and all these other guys and Nippy Steve and all those people. And like fuck that. Like if you're a good trader, you only need volume to survive. Who fucking cares if the arrow's up or down? If you're a good trader, you survive on volume. You're a good NFT trader, you survive on volume. You have a gut chart like me that has enough information on the space that can make educated guesses on what's gonna go up or down. But like seriously, man, fuck the bear market. Like y'all can win during that shit. Like you absolutely can win. I'm up today on trading, and Solana's down, and I'm up US dollar wise. Period. Up. Like I made like $5,000 today.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. We love to hear that. We love to hear that.
Yeah.
So, Eddie, this has been awesome. I'm bricked up. I can run through a wall right now. I just appreciate chatting with you in general. I love your energy. It's always fun to just, you know, see how much you care about this space and how much you care about helping people in the space and things like that. And you know, I've just enjoyed getting to know you on a personal level and things like that. So, for people who want to come into contact with you, can you drop your socials? Where can people find you?
Yeah, 1000%. So at Media Giraffes. MEDIAGIRAFFES. Media Giraffes on everything. Or you type in Fast Edward and it pops up because that's usually my display name on things. But if you see me in person, call me Eddie. I'm approachable. If you come and see me at any of these events or any of these speaking engagements or in LA or anywhere, don't be that dude that doesn't say hi. Come say hi. I'll talk to you. I'll share with you. I want you to win. I want everyone to win. And I think we're on a good path here.
There we go. There we go. Well, hey, man, I've enjoyed this. I appreciate everybody listening. And, yeah, we'll be back soon. But, Eddie, this has been a great time. We got some fun times coming up ahead of us in NFT LA.
Yes, sir.
And, yeah, we'll run this back soon.
Cheers. Thanks, Mark.
No problem. See you guys.
Bye.